Today's society moves more and more to be secular, and the people of the United States differ away from God. Prayer is a trait that is non-existent. In 1962, the United States took prayer out of public schools, saying that it was an act of separation between church and state. While this may be true that the Judeo-Christian values are sometimes shoved down people's throats, through the ethnic groups, there are some consequences in this decision that was made in 1962. SAT scores have plummeted. Behavior in schools has become a problem. And the importance of our foundation of our country is lacking. To fix this problem, the citizens of the United States need to stand on their Christian values. The public school systems need to have prayers put back in school to enhance learning skills, to better behavior skills, and to help the students remember and cherish our Christian founding principles. This brings me to my first point, that prayer should be at the beginning of school to enhance learning skills. By having a prayer before school, one can focus on the needs to what needs to be learned. Since there's been no prayer in school, academics have fallen. It's harder for teachers and students to comprehend the information that they need to be learning. Proof of this would be the SAT scores that have happened since 1962, when prayer was taken out of public schools. You can see the dramatic drop in scores. Thirdly, teacher controversy. A good example was this in this article. In Mississippi, teacher resigns after prayer controversy, published in Church and State in 2010. The teacher was quoted in saying, "I wasn't going to quit praying for my students, but because they wanted it." Saying that Mrs. Wallace would be one day praying for us and then getting fired over that one day. The teacher was reinstated, but she later resigned just to quit the controversy. Now we move on to my second point. We've talked about the downfall of academics. Now I want to talk about the behavior issue. By having prayer in school, students' behavior will improve. Since 1962, behavior in school has been an all-time, misbehaving in schools has been an all-time high. Robin Sapton, the lady that I got these graphs from as well, says in her article, in her blog, when prayer was taken out of schools at heartofwisdom.com in 2010, says the value-free environment has resulted in chaos. When we have no foundation to build upon, there's nothing there. The principles are gone, so students don't know. Our children don't know. Also, there's problems in the classroom. Just constantly, Mrs. Wallace having to say to us, be quiet or pay attention. It's that distraction. Thirdly, people might say that prayer is intolerant. Other religions, but what they won't say is it wasn't intolerant before 1962. And William Armstrong, in his article, When Not to Turn the Other Cheek, says in the New York Armstrong News in 2010, "We're losing the country. People of faith are letting this happen. We're not standing up. We're letting the political correctness overcome us." Now that we've talked about academics and behavior issues, I lastly want to talk about prayer in the foundation of our country. Foundation of our country. When praying at the beginning of school, one sees the tradition and foundation of the United States. If you think back to the First Continental Congress, or you think back to today's Congress, what do? They first start out in prayer. Russell Sturrow, in The Founding Father, in the New York Times Magazine in 2010, says, "The Christian, quote, truth about America's founding has been taught in Christian schools, but not beyond." Here at Liberty, we're bathed in prayer continually by your SLDs, RAs, and RDs, prayer leaders as well. In a public school outing, they don't have that. The foundation is not there. And also something key to point out, during a time of chaos, during a time of crisis, the United States Congress actually passed a bill to put back a moment of silence or prayer, if you shall, during time of crisis. It's kind of like walking the Christian faith. You know, we sometimes ignore God when things are going well, but when we need God, we return to Him. Now that we've talked about the reasons prayer should be in school, I'd like to conclude with this. Whether it's to enhance your learning skills, whether it's to help students, help the youth of America, or remember the foundation of U.S. principles, one can see the need for prayer. It's important not only to our school system, but to every walk of life, every aspect. The famous saying, "We have not because we ask not," is very good. We have problems in learning because we have no prayer. We have behavior problems. We have no prayer. We have priority issues because we have no prayer. The foundation of our country is lost when students don't have this. But the only way that this issue can be solved, the only way it can be put back into public schools, is that we first must start out on our knees to pray that it will be put back into institutions. Thank you.